This week in Wisconsin history, it was January 31st, 1846, 180 years ago yesterday, that Milwaukee became a city. A charter was signed unifying 3 settlements named after Milwaukee's founders, Solomon Juneau, Byron Kilbourne, and George Walker. However, the path to city status was anything but linear. In fact, you might say it was a bit crooked. Along the downtown Riverwalk is a marker sharing the history of Milwaukee's Bridge War. With me is Michael Barrera with the Milwaukee County Historical Society. Michael, not much spirit of cooperation between Milwaukee's 3 founding fathers back then.
No, not at all. Each of the founders was really seeing their settlement first and foremost. There was no conception of a city of Milwaukee yet. You had Solomon Juneau on the east side in Juneautown and Byron Kilbourne on the west side, Kilbournetown. Kilbourne especially, he had, delusions of grandeur, as John Gerda said. Juneau was here first. He established Juneautown in 1818, and obviously he could choose to lay out the street grid however he saw fit. What he decided to do was to align it with the Milwaukee River as it passed through downtown. So it's close to being north, south, east, west, but not quite. When Kilbourne came and established Kilbournetown in 1834, he did decide to align his grid with the compass.
Wisconsin, Wells, State, and right outside your office here, Kilbourne, are noticeably angular, aren't they?
Yes. When Kilbourne didn't align his with the Juneautown grid, that necessitated putting in bridges at odd angles. And you can see that in different odd angles. They're not all at the same skew. They skew in different ways.
So things came to a head in May of 1845. As the historical marker reads, bridges were dismantled, shots were fired, and more than a few noses bloodied?
Yes, that's absolutely true. There were five bridges in the city. Kilbournetown, for instance, they wanted the Wisconsin Avenue Bridge, the Spring Street Bridge, and they wanted the Menominee River Bridge, but they didn't want the 3 others. They viewed them as impediments to shipping. And then they were also angry about taxes, about paying for bridges. And then, looking the other way, Juneautown, they really wanted essentially the opposite bridges. Things started on May 3rd when a schooner captain ran into, physically hit the Spring Street Bridge, what's now Wisconsin Avenue. And the West Siders, Kilbournetown residents, immediately suspected a conspiracy and thought the captain had been paid by Juneautown to destroy or damage the one bridge over the Milwaukee River that the West Side favored. And then on May 9th, Kilbournetown residents took things into their own hands. They damaged the Oneida Street Bridge, so the Wells Street Bridge, and they destroyed the west side of the Chestnut Street Bridge, the current Juneau Avenue Bridge. Juneautown residents retaliated by destroying the 2 bridges that Kilbournetown preferred.
Wow.
And it was all sectarian. It was the 2 sides, Kilbournetown and Juneautown, doing what they believed to be in their best interests and hurting the interests of, the opposition.
So at what point did the parties realize that cooperation was more important than conflict?
It happened throughout the course of 1845. So in the immediate aftermath of the Bridge War, by the end of May into June of 1845, things were still very tense. So crews that were working on repairing bridges had to work under armed guards. There were also instances of assault and battery going both ways. So Juneautown residents stuck on the west side of the river, Kilbournetown residents stuck on the east side of the river. No one was killed, but blood was spilled. And I think people slowly realized that this great sectarian rivalry wasn't helping draw people to the city. It wasn't helping the city grow in comparison with its other rivals. In December 1845, work begins on the first charter, the first city charter in Milwaukee, and it becomes official January 31st, 1846, the day that Milwaukee officially becomes a city.
Thanks for watching this CBS 58 Sunday Morning Story. Subscribe here and make sure to tune in to CBS 58 every Sunday morning to see more uplifting stories like this. And check out our other playlists on YouTube. You'll find everything from Everyday Heroes to our CBS 58 Hometown series on CBS 58.